Hey, what's up everyone? So today, recently we've got some news that Nikon is going to come out with more of a retro style camera. Kind of think of the Nikon Df, the digital fusion camera that came out in like 2013, early 2014. But the thing is it going to be mirrorless? Is it going to be regular DSLR-like? Is it going to be like it was before when there should have been a Df2, etc.? None of us really know yet, but the fact that there's inquiries out there about it, we are probably going to hear something within the next month or two about a updated version of a very unique camera that was once the Nikon Df. So let's talk about the Nikon Df, talk about some of its unique-ish features and a little bit of its cons and see if it's worthy of an upgrade. Will it be mirrorless? So as of right now, and I thought this camera was discontinued, the Nikon Df is $2,750. This is in June of 2021. Basically, the price hasn't changed much. This camera should be way lower than that at this point, being it outdated technology. It has the Nikon D4 16 megapixel sensor, but the autofocus of the Nikon D600, D610, which isn't that good. But the DF is a low light beast, and a couple years ago, 3 or 4 years ago, I had the Nikon Df for basically a summer long. I wanted to work with it. I reviewed it. I'll link that down below. And I shot a lot of weddings with it. And be it what it was, I was actually pretty impressed with the camera, besides the autofocus. But the camera was a low light beast. Once again, it is a full frame F-mount camera, and it lacked video, which was a controversial thing for a lot of people. But yet again, you kind of go from there as you be. But it had reduced features. It had a Fuji-like retro feel to it, which was actually kind of cool because Nikon was really stagnant. Once again, I know I'm talking about this from only a couple years ago, but the fact that this was 2013, 2014 probably makes that a bit more of a bigger deal because people liked vintage Nikon. People liked the way those cameras looked, and to get that in digital form was something pretty cool. But one of the worst parts about the camera was the battery life was not that good, and if you cared or not, it had a single SD card slot. Other than that, no built-in flash, and that seemed controversial to people as well because you had wedding photographers going, well, I can't use this to trigger the flash or not using blah, blah, blah. And yet again, the camera is more for a specific type of person. Think of this DF kind of like Nikon's take on like a Leica Q, a Leica Q2, how Fuji designs other cameras. But the big thing was no video, autofocus not being that good. But is that something that could really keep up to 2021? And should it be mirrorless? You know, when I say that's a good question, but at this point, Nikon has to commit to the mirrorless line, their newer mounts. The F mount is legendary. You can use all the lenses and everything, but to put out something and to charge a high price tag, which would be probably over $3,000 if they do something like this over the next couple months. I'll even call it the digital mirrorless camera, the DM. And I just feel like it has to be mirrorless. It's going to be full frame most likely. You know, what I would want is it 24 megapixels. We don't need anything crazy. If you want 40 and above for something like this, you're out of your mind. And for simplicity of it, if you want to lack some features, I won't even worry about the 4K video on it. I don't think it needs video. And the one thing I don't even care if it also doesn't have, because it does, the DF needed to slim down a little bit, was I don't care if it even has a viewfinder. Give me the screen. I don't really care. It's something that the Fuji X-Pro 3, they missed the mark on for me, a lot of the build stuff and everything like that. But this is where Nikon could capitalize and fill the gap between that Fuji Nikon Leica Q2 line and really put out something that's pretty impactful and pretty awesome. So if they want to get a little bit minimal there, I'm all for it. But the one thing they have to do, improve the autofocusing system. And you can't put something like as it was back then, the D600 into something like this. Obviously, that is old, updated technology. And everything, for the most part today, is very, very solid. So they kind of can't go wrong of anything in that regards. But the one thing I didn't like ergonomically about the DF was just the grip of the camera. I've got pretty big hands, and it just wasn't extremely comfortable to me. So if they had something with a deeper grip, I don't even think they need a battery grip or anything for it. I think that would pay off better battery life. And dual SD card slots would be cool, but even if it's just a single SD card slot, I don't think that's a big deal for something like this, because this is a pretty unique camera you'd buy. It's not targeted towards everyone, hence the price, hence the style, the look of it, no video, whatever it would be. But if you paired this type of camera that I would want in this Df2 or DM, this digital mirrorless camera, you'd want a 35 or 50 millimeter lens with it, and it'd be the perfect like street photography beast, low light, go getting beast, whatever. I think a Df2 or digital M would work out very, very well in 2021, 2022. And once again, the Leica Q2 even shot up in price an extra $500 because of supply and demand and lack of production. So if Nikon can figure out how to produce a camera like this, and if this is something we can hear about, I'd love to reflect back on this. I really enjoyed shooting with the DF despite some of its fall-offs and cons a little bit. And I think that an updated camera now, especially mirrorless, newer mount, their newer lenses, which are pretty sharp as well, I think would be a very, very good idea. And I think it's something that's pretty solid. But let me know your thoughts down below. You don't even have to have a Nikon background to even chime in about this. But Fuji background, anything like that, can Nikon put out an updated mirrorless version of the DF and give us a DF2? Like I said, a DM. So slide into those DMs, Nikon. Give us a really cool camera and give something exciting to talk about, because all of the news so far by any company and brand has been literally boring for a couple of years now. Nothing has been that exciting. Give us something fun, Nikon. Do something.